Welcome to the presentation. Streaming is the future of TV. Folks, it is a streaming world. What is streaming TV? It's the abilities to watch movies, to watch live TV shows, replays on demand, to listen to music, or even global radio stations. Breaking down the term of streaming TV, streaming media is multimedia that is constantly received by and presented to an end user while being delivered by a provider. Most of us know about Netflix. The verb to stream refers to the process of delivering media in this manner. The term refers to the delivery method of the medium rather than the medium itself and is an alternative to downloading. A client media player can begin playing the data, such as a movie, before the entire file has been transmitted. Some of our earliest exposure to streaming media is done in the 30s with elevator music. Let's compare the cost of cable to streaming TV. Now, cable without movie channels usually comes with about a 2-year contract. You're looking at $50 a month just for basic cable, not the movie channel, just the basic cables. So overall, that's $600 a year times two would be $1,200. And then the price is going to increase each and every year. Whereas with streaming TV, you're under no contract, you have no monthly or annual fees. It's a one-time investment of $150. So you can get streaming TV for a fraction of the cost of cable. Folks, get your popcorn out. Let's take a look at a demo. Well, you're live and inside of Kodi. This is the software that drives the whole entertainment experience. First stop is that I'd like to go over to the weather tab, select it, and once you configure it, it's going to show you what the weather is in your zone, or in zones that you set up. You can prompt up to 3 different zones, and of course you know where I'm at. That is not the correct weather, but give it 1 second. All right, here it is. I'm in sunny Atlanta, and right now it's peaking at about 90 degrees on June 15th at about 4:45 in the evening time. That is Eastern Standard Time. You can also see to the right a forecast, and this is using Yahoo's weather app. You can see what Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is like. Well, you know, Thursday we've got some thunderstorms on Thursday and Friday. Okay, all right, so we'll back out of this, and let's go to the main thing, which is the video experience. Now, I showed you some screenshots to the channel guide. Let's actually take a look at it. So this is what you'll get as a channel guide, and you can see it's just going to show you a description, you know, of each show that's on, time zones. You can scroll across, you can go further down. There are several pages and channels, and basically what this FTV guide does is it pulls in all of the live content. Okay, so let's get out of this. Now what you're going to need to do is you are going to have to take some time and go through and configure each channel. Okay, basically what you have here inside of Kodi and our box is that it's just disruptive technology. Okay, disruptive technology is something that changes the way that things are currently being done. So typically we access cable and maybe Netflix for movies and movie streams and live TV and maybe converter boxes. But with this is going to be totally different. What I want to do is I want to go through the other 4 tabs or buttons that you see here on the screen. But first, let's take a look at Genesis, because Genesis is going to be like the main one that you guys are going to use. Now, within Genesis, we'll start from the bottom. There's a search tab where you can locate movies and TV shows. You can also search by maybe a particular actor or actress, you know, there are tools. Tools will allow you to make some changes within the Genesis software, and then you can then everything is categorized. You can look at the latest episodes, latest movies, My Genesis, channels, TV shows, and movies. So we'll start at the top and look at movies. And these movies are broken down into genre. Okay, so if you want to click it, it breaks it down to action, adventure, animation, so forth. Okay, now we'll go back and let's take a look at language. So I speak English, but if you let's say speak Spanish or Portuguese or German or French, you may want to look at movies in your own language. And so when you click on French, give it a few seconds to load, it will pull up all French titles and you watch whatever is of interest to you. Okay? Won't spend too much time on this one. All right, and then it's also broken down by box office by the year. So you can see movies, and it goes all the way back to actually 1966. And this is just for the box office. Now, that's not to say that movies only go back as far as 1966, because I've seen some that went a little further back, like Casablanca. That was done in the late 30s or early 40s. You can also search by people watching, most popular. When you get in here, this is going to take some time. You're going to need to play around and see what options work best for you. You can also search by what's currently in the theaters. So let's take a quick look at what's in that section. So this is what's currently in the theaters. Okay, Jurassic Park 2015, Mad Max, Fury Road, San Andreas, Pitch Perfect. And then if you want to look and say, well, hey, what's the most popular? You select that option. And Genesis is a very powerful source for streaming live movies and TV shows. I should say not live movies, but movies and TV shows. And the TV shows that you're going to watch from here are going to be like, without commercials. Okay, so let's take a look at that option real quick. And this would be TV shows. So let's take a quick peek at most popular. We won't go into genre and some of the other options, and you can see, I mean, these are all shows that everyone is talking about. Game of Thrones, Hannibal, Daredevil, Arrow, The Flash, Supernatural, Sons of Anarchy. You can watch full episodes. Let's take a quick look at Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones. Now, I'm just sort of popped up on my radar just maybe a few months ago. Didn't realize that they were into 5 seasons already. But you can start from season 1. Let's see how many episodes. So far, there's 10 episodes in season 5 that are available. So do as a friend of mine did. She saw on TV the Persons of Interest show that comes on. She liked it. Thought about it one day on the system. She went, she searched, and she found, from the beginning. And so within the past month or so, five weeks or so, she's watched from episode 1 of season 1 all the way to season 4. Just taking some time. Now, as far as like, if you click on My Genesis is going to save whatever favorites that you have. Okay, and I'll show you how to do favorites. If you when you pick a title in the list, if you click, well, basically this will say add to favorites, and I guess I need to go back and give the best example. But that's where you would, from this menu, that's where you would go ahead and you would save favorites. So that would be my favorite movies that I have bookmarked so far. This would be my favorite TV shows. So let's quickly go back to movies, and we'll bookmark something real quick, and then come back and take a look at it. All right, so we'll go to box office by year. We'll go back up to, let's say, I hate to use the example of 2015, so we'll go with 2014 because we're really not marketing the fact that you can see some of the latest movies that are at the movie theaters, okay? But within this system, the way it goes and it searches out movies, you will see some of what's currently at the movie theaters, and I want to explain that in just a second. But here you can see add to movies. So if I wanted to add American Sniper to my movie collection, when I go back, as I go back, okay, as I go back and I go to My Genesis, which is where you still store all of your favorite movies and TV shows. So I'll select favorite movies, and you should see American Sniper on the list. There it is, okay. All right, and so let's take a quick peek at maybe one of the movies. Let's go with Jurassic Park. For time's sake, so we won't look at everything because it does take a couple of seconds to load up, and I want to make this overview as brief as possible. So what I did, because I'm not on the super fast internet, I'm going to go down to HQ stands for high quality, HD of course stands for high definition. So I'm going to go down to, I'm trying to remember which one of these I knew worked before. Okay, let's go with this one. Just want to give you a taste of the movie. Alright, so there's no stream available for that one. And you will run into that from time to time. Just one of the things you have to be a little patient with this system. You're going to run into some links that are not going to be active. But after you click on a few, you will find something that works. So I'm just going to go ahead and click resume here. Takes a few seconds to load. And the movie starts, and when it starts, I mean, it's beautiful. So your HD movies are going to be in HD. Now, even though this one was medium quality, still going to be, still going to show great. Look at that. Jurassic Park. This is, I believe, 1990. Okay, HD wasn't even thought about probably back then. And as you can see, I mean, that's quality. Okay, no monthly. And so, want to explain something. Due to the most recent updates to net neutrality laws that were just passed, it gives us free reign to search the web and without restrictions as long as we're file sharing and file streaming. That's all our streaming TV media player is allowed to do. We're not able to download, duplicate, or host content from content with this box. Okay, the Kodi software just file scrapes. So in other words, it goes into the cloud, and it looks for file shares and file streams and deliver them directly to your computer. So I've had the question asked, well, is this legal? And yes, it is. Okay, it's legal because you're streaming. Okay, and I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to tell you what Hollywood does. Hollywood never loses money on a movie, okay, on movies, because what they do is they go around to countries and they sell the rights to their movies for millions, and they sell it to countries like China, Europe, and other countries because they want to use those countries as test markets. Okay, so from their data that's gathered, they once they start testing, they look to see if a movie does well, then they know when they bring it to the U.S. that they don't have to, um, they don't have to do, spend a whole lot of money on a big advertising budget. Okay, but if the movie doesn't do well, then they know that they have to use a higher advertising budget. So now, when a movie goes to China, let's sort of say, because of China's laws, the same day that the movie is released in theaters, it's also released on DVD that exact day. Okay, I know that's kind of strange, that's kind of crazy, and maybe that might be a good thing, here in the U.S., but it's released the same day. So now, who's to keep somebody from lawfully purchasing a DVD copy and file sharing it or file streaming it on the internet? Okay, and so what? Once again, what Kodi software does, it goes out and it streams the internet for file sharing or file streaming sources. And this is how we're able to bring this content in. All right. So let's take a look at what's going on CBS News Live. Now, this is actually going to be a live feed of what's currently being broadcast. If you were able to look at this at the same time I'm recording it, and you watch CBS News, it's going to show you some live information, and you'll see that this is going to come in beautiful picture. It's going to be HD. Now, these are some other topics that are trending at the moment that they've spoke about on an earlier segment of the show.
Late in the afternoon, the children were lining up to purchase treats. And as soon as Brown stepped out of the truck, gunfire erupted.
Wow. Getting the summer off, and here's something negative. Okay, and you can click on each one of these segments and watch it. We'll also go to extreme sports, and just to go to show you the diversity of what you can see. Now, everything that this part is something that's been pre-recorded. Okay, and these are major extreme sport topics. So we'll look at Tyler Fernigal shreds the abandoned stadium, which is the stadium in Michigan. I believe it's a Silverdome. It takes a few minutes. Silverdome, Pontiac, Michigan.
I remember it like yesterday, Detroit. I remember it like yesterday. The smell of fresh paint. The stands overflowing. 40 years ago. A Coliseum for the modern age. 40 years ago, I stood for Detroit. I held the action. I owned the prize fighting. I brought the champions.
And also, let's take a look at some live TV. Now, I set up a free account over at US TV Now, which is a site that is set up for the military. When they're abroad, they can watch shows from back home. So we'll take a quick look at Judge Judy happens to be on.
It truly looked like a blizzard on a
Because of my connection, there's going to be some buffering. We're going to talk a little bit more about connections with, I'm using Clear, which is not a super fast internet. So if you've got like Comcast or let's say AT&T Universal, you're gonna get a much faster speed. Let's go over to Fox. Let's see if we can watch a little bit of the Women's World Cup. All right, folks, and this is live.
Coming your way tomorrow.
Live from Vancouver, Abby Wambach in the United States taking on Nigeria as they close out.
Live from Vancouver, Abby Wambach in the United States taking on Nigeria as they close out. Group of death play.
All right, so let's back out of this and keep it moving. All right, if we go over to music, because you can listen to radio stations. There's about 500 global radio stations. I activated one of the add-ons. It'll load up in a second, and we're going to listen to a few songs, and we'll be done with this part of the presentation. So let's go over to, let's say, 80s rock hits. ZZ Top, Sharp Dressed Men. watch unlimited movies. You can watch live TV. You can also catch your TV shows on demand if you got a busy schedule like mine. You can listen to music, whatever type of music that you want to listen to. If you like classical, if you want to listen to jazz, R&B, old school rap, if you want to listen to some rock music from the 50s, if you want to listen to rock and roll from the 70s and the 80s, it's at your disposal. Okay, no additional charges for this. You can save tons of money on your home entertainment and movies, and all it requires is an internet connection and an HD TV. But I got to get you to understand, this is not cable. This is not a hook 'em up type cable. This box is not cable at all. Reprogram your thinking, and when you see this box and it functions, it's way different from cable. All right, so we've got a promotion for you. It's called Dinner and a Movie. Actually, we started this promotion in June, and we revamped it to offer a little bit more value. When you purchase one of our streaming TV players, we're going to give you $500 in restaurant vouchers, and you can use them at and you have a list of places you can choose from. But just fast food restaurants such as McDonald's and Popeyes Chicken, Wendy's, KFC, or you can sit down at some quality restaurants such as TGI Fridays, Chili's, and you can see some of the other ones, Tony Roma's. There's a couple of steak places. Just sit down and enjoy a good meal, and then once you're done, go home, turn your box on, flip your TV on, and watch your favorite movie or watch something of interest. Now, we've got special incentives for those that buy three or more boxes. So what you do is give me a call, and then we'll definitely show you what those additional incentives are. Now, ordering is easy. You've got three different ways that you can order. You can actually, for ease of use, go to our website. The website is www.connectmetv.weebly.com. Once again, you can go to www.connectmetv.weebly.com, or you can place your order by phone. You can give me a call, 404-437-5902, during the hours, Monday through Friday, during the hours of 12 noon to 7 p.m., and that's Eastern time, or Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time. Or you can request by text or by email, a PayPal link, and we can either send it to your phone or we can send it to your email. And once the payment is made, it's going to capture your address, and we'll just send it to that name and that address. Now, typically it takes about 3 to 5 business days for this box to get to you, and trust me, it comes real quick. Okay, so it's not like you're going to be waiting a month of Sundays for the box. It's going to come in a short time, and then you'll be up to streaming. All right. What we ask is that, order your streaming TV and do it today. Begin to see exactly everything that I showed you in the demo, to watch some of the latest movies that you want to watch. I had a blast this weekend. I caught up on an old movie, Mannequin 2. I'm trying to think of the other movie that I watched as well. I believe it was the first RoboCop. I didn't look at the entire thing. I saw the first half of it because that's really my favorite. And I've got a ton of other old movies that I want to go back and watch. I've seen some black and whites on here. Just phenomenal the way that this has been put together. So, the only way that you'll know exactly and be able to experience what I'm talking about is if you order your streaming TV today. Now, if you're watching this from our YouTube channel, there's going to be some information on how to get in contact with me, how to order. There'll be the ordering link right there. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. Give us a call. If you're on the live webinar, okay, we're going to take and turn around and open this up for Q&A in just a second.